Welcome in to Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan Lugo. Thank you so much for tuning in. Giants at Jaguars Sunday, 1 p.m. at the Bank, TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. We're going to get into some keys to victory and bold predictions right now. Giants are 5-1, 3 straight wins. Jaguars are 2-4, 3 straight losses. But the Jaguars are home favorites over the Giants by 3 points. Like to remind you to follow me on Twitter at Jordan DeLugo, Generation Jaguar, at Generation Jag. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. And if you want to support the channel further, go pick up a new hat or shirt at genjag.com right now. Links in the description below. We'll start with keys to victory. For me, it starts with the Jaguars' offense. They have the much tougher matchup here when you talk about the Giants, their defensive front. Wink Martindale, his affinity for blitzing, his affinity for trying to confuse the opposing offense. You got to score some points early. How do you do that? I think Wink, like I said, he's going to try to heat you up. He's going to try to blitz. So how do you neutralize the blitz? You early and often you go to Travis Etienne and James Robinson, both carrying the ball and out of the backfield. Get that defense reeling a bit. And then Trevor should be able to get rid of the ball quickly and efficiently over the middle of the field. Some dump offs to the running backs, a continuation or extension of the running game. And when you're trying to pass it, when you're trying to get these passing concepts going, I think you need to use motion to identify the defense because Wink is switching it up a bit. He's running primarily man coverage, but you're also seeing some cover 3, some quarters, some cover 2. So you want to make sure that you are able to identify if they're running man or zone defense. And then if they're running man, I think that you can figure out some man beaters to run. You can stack some receivers up. You can get some picks, some rubs, all that fun stuff, and get your receivers open. Zay Jones has been really good against man coverage so far this year. So if they run primarily man, you could see a lot of Zay Jones. Now, Wink Martindale is going to know that Trevor Lawrence has struggled with cover 2, so will you see more cover 2 in this game? That's going to be something to watch, no doubt about it. Trevor's pretty much eaten up every other defense so far this year outside of cover 2, struggled against the Texans and their cover 2 looks. Looking at the defensive side of the ball, you got to pray you get Foley back, Foley Fatukasi. He is questionable with his quad injury. Regardless if he's in there or not. You do have Corey Peters who can play the run. Devon Hamilton's also questionable. So the Jaguars' interior defensive line is going to be interesting how that plays out. They're obviously facing Saquon Barkley, who he might be the best running back in football right now, and he's certainly the Giants' offense. So you're going to need to swarm to the football. Multiple bodies trying to bring down Saquon Barkley, who can get it done with power, contact balance, speed, vision. He's a complete running back. He's one of the most talented backs I've ever seen. He leads the team in receptions and carries, obviously. He is the Giants' offense. So you need to take that away, and if you can take that away, if you can minimize it, you're not going to stop Saquon Barkley completely, but if you can minimize that, you've got a shot here, and another way to minimize that is putting up points early and slowing down the run on early downs, and then you're forcing the Giants to throw the ball. But you've also got to get back to forcing turnovers on the defensive side of the ball. The Jaguars were so good in the turnover department early on this year, and when you look at how it's played out the last few weeks, they haven't been able to force as many turnovers. They've been close. Tyson Campbell got that forced fumble last week. The Jaguars just weren't able to quite pick it up there. I don't care how you do it as long as you stay disciplined. Danny Dimes has been having a turnover-worthy throw or two in just about every game this year so far. So you got to go get it, whether you're picking off a Daniel Jones pass, whether you're forcing a fumble, however you're doing it, the Jaguars have got to figure out how to force some turnovers. Those are our keys to victory. Bold predictions. Travis Etienne gets his first 100-yard rushing performance of his young career. He's been close, had 86 yards last week. And James Robinson gets 100 yards too. And so does Saquon Barkley. I think there's going to be a whole lot of running in this football game, despite Doug Peterson's affinity for throwing the football. And I do think the Jaguars will throw the ball in this game. But I think they're going to have to come out and run it, and I think they know that. The Giants have the worst run defense in football, allowing 5.6 yards per carry. Travis Etienne is averaging 5.6 yards per carry himself. You got to feed him the ball. You've got to feed James Robinson the ball. I think the Jaguars will do that. And we know the Giants offense runs around Saquon Barkley, so I think you can expect him to eclipse the 100-yard mark as well. But I do have him doing it on less than 4 yards per carry. I think it's going to be more about volume than efficiency for Saquon Barkley in this game for the Giants. We'll see how it plays out, but I think the Jaguars' run defense, one of the top run defenses in the league statistically, they're going to be able to hold Saquon under 4 yards per carry, in my opinion. A lot of that's going to come down to the linebackers. Trey Herndon, he's going to make a start this week. It's his second start of the year. He's starting in place of Shaq Griffin, who's got a back injury. Last time that Shaq missed in week 3, they had Trey Herndon playing outside, Darius Williams staying in the middle. I think the Giants, when they do take to the air, they're going to try to test Trey Herndon, and I think he's going to get a pick. He played really well throughout the preseason and training camp. I think he's in a really good place as a veteran cornerback at this point, a former undrafted free agent for the Jaguars who's come in and acquitted himself well with this new coaching staff. I think he'll get a pick. Think it's time for Trey Herndon to have a big day, to have a good outing. And he had a good outing against the Chargers in week 3 as well. All right. Evan Ingram facing his former team. I think he scores his first touchdown as a Jaguar. He's been heavily utilized in the offense as of late. He's been close. Almost got his feet down earlier in the year for that touchdown. But I think that Evan Ingram will find the end zone. He'll get his revenge. And I know he's not really looking at it as a revenge game. He loves a lot of the players and people that are in New York that he worked with. But I think there's still a little extra motivation there. All right, Jaguars. I've got them winning 24-17, their first victory of the season that comes in the form of a one-score win. The Jaguars have been really poor in the fourth quarter. They have been really poor when it comes to one-score games. Both of their victories were in blowout fashion. I think they get their first win of the season that comes down to a much closer ball game. And I believe that just because I think that they're a more talented team. I think they're executing at a higher level in a lot of different ways. I see them getting up on the Giants, and then the Giants trying to fight back, but not ever really getting that close until the end. The final score is a little bit closer than the game really is at 24-17. Like I said, I think the Jaguars are more talented. I think they have a better quarterback. They don't have the same weaknesses as the Giants with a faulty run defense for New York and a less than stellar passing game on the other side of the ball where they're running the ball more than they're throwing it at this point in the season. I think it's going to be a fun one. I really could see it going either way, but I've got the Jaguars giving the hometown fans a treat here. 24-17 over the Giants. The Jaguars are favored. They are at home. The Giants are on a long win streak. The Jaguars are on a long losing streak. I think everything is adding up to a Jacksonville Jaguars victory this weekend. At least that's the hope, right? Hope you enjoyed the content, Duval. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit me up on Twitter at Jordan Lugo, Generation Jaguar at Generation Jag. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. And if you want to support the channel further, you can become a channel member. You can also go check out genjag.com, pick up some new gear. Links in the description below. Happy Saturday, Duval.